tonight for dinner.
Oh, nice. I had mac and cheese.
You had mac and cheese? I had mac and cheese for lunch. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Shootin' Hoops with me and Tim Earl. I'm Detroit Lenny. He's Tim Earl. We do this thing every Wednesday night where we do over
At least we try
NBA. At least we try to. We've been off for a minute. We had a little holiday break, okay?
Yeah, sure.
A little holiday break. Some COVID stuff, not with us, but the NBA and just whatever, just New Year's, and hey, we're back. That's all that matters, okay? Welcome to, I believe, episode 8, 9, something like that,
Yeah,
of Shootin' Hoops. I'm trying to keep track. I think it's 8. But welcome to Shootin' Hoops. We talk all things NBA here, okay? That's it. So Tim's going to go over some trends and some other stuff like that. Tim, how you doing today? How's today treating you?
I mean, looks like a 5-1 start to the college basketball night. I know we said NBA, but basketball is basketball. 5-1 start there. Really happy about that one. Kind of a well, this will jump us into for NBA tonight. This will jump us into live action. Let's do like a quick little scroll around the league, see where we're at, what I have, and see how good or bad my players are doing. We'll start off.
We got
Boston,
6 games playing right now.
6 games. Yep. Boston Celtics and the Pacers. Celtics up 18 with 6 to go. I was leaning Pacers. I'm so happy I laid off that game.
Yeah, they're running.
That one's kind of a mess. Another game I'm really happy I laid off. I was looking at the over in that Hornets game, 94-83 in that game. So that's really trending towards the under right now. Hornets are actually winning that one. One of the games I did bet, and it's actually, at the moment, looking better. Wizards and the Magic. I have the Magic +6. It's a 5-point game with 3.5 to go. Never know. Maybe you might be able to cash it. Then Miami Heat are currently up 22 points on the Atlanta Hawks. Wow.
Just wow, right? I mean, how else do you describe that?
It's how about a 19-2 start to start the second half for Miami Heat?
I just saw that.
That's what I was like, wow to.
Okay.
One was
just wow because of the Heat. I mean,
no, I
know you were on the Heat.
Well.
It's just we'll get to that in a minute when you're kind of.
Nick was on the Heat.
That's what it was. You guys look alike, so sometimes I get confused. We'll get to this in a second. We'll keep going through. I don't mean to interrupt, but remind me to ask you, what's wrong with the Hawks?
Okay, yeah. Mavs and the Knicks. That one started back. It's 3 minutes into the third. Knicks are up 13. Not really looking too good for that one. And then frickin' the Rockets and the Spurs. I mentioned during game time, one person said, "Hey, what about the under in that Rockets game?" I said, Rockets don't like playing defense. 39-36 at the end of the first. So that one is really high scoring. So we'll see with that one. But this is a little bit of a
39-36, almost 40 points per team. I mean,
it's at 75 points at the end of the first quarter. I don't know if you're an over better. If you're over on that game, that looks fantastic for you.
I mean, yeah, but the thing is I'm looking for you know me, I like to live bet a little bit here and there. And especially on these shows that we do, I look for at least one live bet. Let's all cash. Let's in the chat. Let's get some money here. Let's try and cash a live bet. And behind the scenes, behind the show before we started, I was telling Tim, I said, man, I don't know about the Rockets Spurs total. And I'm looking now, that live total right now is at 249. What did it start at, you told me?
232.5, I believe it was at.
So it's like 17, 16 points. I mean, depending on where it started, 15, that's over 15 points difference right now. I kind of want to take the under, but when I do I bet, I try to get a little bit of plus money. It's only at minus 110, and I just don't trust the Rockets to, first of all of a sudden they could score like nobody's business.
No, Rockets can score. Spurs defense is not good. Rockets can score.
I thought the Spurs defense was a little bit better than this, though. I'm not saying, you know what I mean? I'm just saying.
No, I understand what you mean.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying. Yeah, so there's that. We're trying. We got all kinds of stuff going on. I'm 1-1 in today's bets, by the way. I won a hockey bet and I lost a college basketball bet by 0.5 point, and I'm still bitter. It's just been one of those days.
I will say, in the mix of scrolling through my while you were talking, I was scrolling through my college basketball. We just added a winner and a loser. Under in the Florida LSU game, cashed it. Elon game, we had the under 138. It finished at 139. So I feel your pain.
Yeah, hey. I had a first half on a college basketball game. Evansville, yeah, and over 60.5, and it was 36-24 at halftime. So it landed right on 60. And that happened to be what I try and do everybody manages their bankroll differently. I try to do a few 1-unit bets. Those are pretty, obviously. And then if I'm taking a little chance on some stuff, maybe some half-unit stuff. And I try and bold play of the day, do a 2-unit bet every now and then. And, every now and then, meaning every day. And that one didn't hit today.
It happens.
So
yeah, I will say one.
It wasn't a TikTok play though. Was not a TikTok play.
There you go. I will say 7-2 to start off the college basketball day. So at least that looks nice.
Sox Bulls Bears stopping and say hi. Don't forget to hit the like button, people. And he's referring to Bulletproof. That was my TikTok today. My TikTok today was I just heard 5 inches of fat can stop a bullet, and then it said, "Bitch, I'm not fat. I'm bulletproof." So that's a true story. As long as they shoot me in the tummy, I am good.
There you go. It's one way to approach it.
You can shoot me in the knees too. They're all metal. I mean, they're bulletproof too. So that's all that. And then this guy stops by and said, "Let's go Heat." 3-1 stars. Yeah, I saw. We're talking NBA though.
Yeah, Nick, it's NBA time. Not.
I know it's taking everything I have, Nick Girl. Nick Girl, I know you can hear me. It's taking everything I have not to try and look at a live bet in hockey because I'm doing an NBA show. Oh, he can't hear me?
I got headphones on. He can't hear you.
Oh, okay. Well, he's watching in the chat because he's a great fan.
Of course.
So, guys, by the way, if you have questions about tonight's games or, any kind of thing, NBA or whatever, now's the time to ask them in the chat if you're watching, because I got the NBA expert with me for the next 20, 30 minutes. So you might as well take advantage of them. I mean, we do all the time. We just beat them up. We run them through the ringer as much as we can. Take advantage of them. Any kind of NBA questions you got, my boy Tim Murrow will help you out. So, Tim, I know it's been a while. We're all happy to have NBA back, but this is a topic that we've talked about every time on this show. I'd like to keep talking about it. Me and you have talked about it, and we agree. I think this is where we make our money as handicappers.
Correct.
Who's covering spreads? Who's not? I don't want to, everybody says who's hot, who's not, stuff like this, but teams against the spread. Talk to me about your top 5, or, because Cleveland was up there, right?
Yes. They still are, but they're not number 1 anymore. I will say, okay. you guys get an extra little bonus because we'll do the top 6 teams, because there's currently 6 teams that are hitting their spread at 60% or higher. 5 and 6 tied. Both of them are 23 and 15. Those are the Chicago Bulls and the Golden State Warriors. They're tied at 5. Both of them hitting at around 60.5%. Which is nice because I have the Chicago Bulls playing tonight. Next one is the Charlotte Hornets. They are 25 and 16 this year against the spread. They're hitting theirs at 60.98, so essentially 61%, which is fantastic. And then you get the top 3 teams who are all hitting at 65% or higher this year. Surprisingly, OKC and Cleveland tied for second. They're both 26 and 14 against the spread, so that's kind of interesting to see. That I don't understand. Because the Oklahoma City is always a multiple-digit dog, or they're at least 6-point dogs in a lot of their games. And Cleveland was. Even
I can understand that. I know this NBA, but I attribute that to being like the Lions. The Lions covered a lot of spreads this year because they're always such big underdogs. I think that with OKC. So OKC, they're always a big underdog. So I get that one, but kind of. It still messes with me.
And then Cleveland's also even though Cleveland is number 3, they were number 1. They have dropped. They've covered the spread in 2 out of their last 10 games. So they've not. I've faded them a little bit. I'm even fading them tonight. They are coming down a little bit to their means. Number 1 team against the spread, and we'll be talking about them a lot tonight, is the Memphis Grizzlies.
Fire.
They've been on fire. They've won 10 straight. They're currently 28-15 against the spread. They're hitting it at 65.12% of the time. And if you've been betting money on them, they're the most profitable team in the NBA. Not even close. There could be teams that you could fade, and you're still making more money betting on Memphis every single game on the spread. So there you go.
I mean, I got some questions for you, but that doesn't shock me too much about who's on top of that leaderboard there with Memphis. I know we talked about this earlier in the year. John Morant, one of your favorite players, you have him on MVP bet, future bet, right?
I'm mad. I did not. We'll discuss that more in a minute when we get to him.
I was gonna say, well, I wrote questions down because instead of me interrupting you, I just have questions for you. Okay, I'm gonna straight up
fire away.
Fanboy my NBA stuff because I'm telling you right now, I've been so big into football towards the end of the year and college football, bowl season's over, all that, and then hockey is in full swing, and I'm definitely an NFL and hockey guy. And NBA I dabble with, college basketball I dabble with, but the more I get into it with Tim, the more I'm competitive. So I just naturally bet more NBA the more I hang out with Tim Earl. So Atlanta, I got 2 questions for you. The ATL. Talk to me about the ATL. Like what? I mean, are they just? What the hell is wrong? Because I don't know if they're at that point in their kind of whatever season. I don't want to say season because it's still early in the season. But I mean, should they just blow this thing up? I mean, is Trae Young got enough pieces? What's the problem?
This team has been heavily hit by an injury plague and COVID plague and all.
Is it just that kind of year? I mean, it's just that
it's one
year.
Of those I think everybody went into this one for the Hawks, and they were, I think, over did it because the Hawks didn't they make the Eastern Conference Finals Yeah, they made the Eastern Conference Finals and this, that, and the other. Trae Young MVP next. It just hasn't been the same because Clint Capella's had problems. Their bench, which was meant to be part of their strong part of their team, and it just has not been. So this is one Hawks. That was I think that was something where they were a lot more interesting towards the end of last year, and everybody's just trying to ride them into this year, and they just have not competed to the standards.
Okay.
By the way, the Magic game just ended, and I pushed my 6.
Really?
So I'll take it because they were down like a whole bunch in they had to win that fourth quarter 34-28 in order to cash that one. So if anybody had the over, there you go.
Nice. All right, this is my second question.
Okay.
No, that wasn't it. This is my second question. Sorry. Golden State Warriors. Predictions with Klay back. Now, I know Draymond's still out. Klay's just coming back. I mean, just getting his feet wet a little bit. Steph is Steph. Okay? I mean, he's just him. The fakers are the fakers in that whole the West and all that. But, like, if Golden State can catch a groove and everybody healthy, are they the team to beat in the West?
100%.
Okay.
Granted, I have a team that I like more from the West.
All I needed to know.
Yes, they should be the team to beat in the West. And Klay Thompson coming back, as I mentioned throughout the season, it's only going to make him better. One of the things I think Klay Thompson coming back will do, if anybody has Curry MVP props, it's probably going to damper it just a little bit. Just because Klay Thompson is a heavy shooter. Granted, that'll probably help out with his assists and stuff like that, but this is Klay Thompson being back is just going to hurt his stock, hurt Curry's stock a little bit. But no, this Warriors team is 100% going to be they're a top 3 team in the league, even probably the best team in the league at the moment.
Okay.
And I honestly think they're waiting for a matchup with somebody in that Western Conference Finals coming up. So,
well, I mean, because Phoenix has seemed to be very, I mean, which is another team we didn't talk about in the West, but they're a good team, but like I don't know if they can make a playoff push like they did last year. You know, I don't know if they're gonna be able to repeat that kind of success. They're 31-9 right now. They're the best team in the West.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I mean, I don't want to take anything away from them, but I don't know how long they can sustain that kind of momentum when you have somebody like Golden State, who's a game behind you in the West. They're only 30-10, so they're only one game behind you, and they've been piecing people together all year.
Yeah.
You know, if Klay comes back and catches fire, dude wins comeback player of the year for sure.
Oh, 100%. If he has a good rest of the year, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, exactly. And if he catches groove, Steph being Steph, Draymond stays healthy. Are we looking at Memphis Golden State?
I sure hope so.
Western Conference?
I sure hope so. And the Warriors, and we'll mention that, yeah, I do have a futures ticket for an NBA team to win the finals, and it's Memphis. And we'll get into that, like why I chose them instead of Golden State and instead of Phoenix. And the main reason why is Golden State was like plus 250, 300 or something, and Phoenix was like 400 or something, and Memphis was 35-1. I just felt like that was way off priced.
Okay.
And
that makes sense.
That's and with how hot they are and how hot they can get, this Golden State, this Memphis team, well, Memphis can definitely put up a fight against Golden State, against Utah, against Phoenix, against Dallas, Denver.
Right.
Like all those teams are going to be all big into the thing, but when it comes to it, I see Golden State and I see Memphis, and probably looking at those two guys in the Western Conference Finals if they don't get there, if they don't face each other beforehand.
Fair enough. I appreciate that. Thank you. Just taking care of my curiosity mind.
Oh yeah.
And those are two teams that, let's be honest, everybody knows. Talking about Atlanta, talking about Golden State. Those are two very heavy public betting teams. Kind of thing. So, and everybody knows Steph Curry. Everybody knows Klay Thompson. Everybody knows all that. So
yeah, everybody knows those guys because they were in the finals for a bunch of years in a row.
Yeah, they're in my book dynasty.
100% they are.
So, the Mavs are just not producing right
now. No, they're not. I've marked the I'm marking the Mavs game now as a loser.
I'm glad I didn't live bet it. I was gonna live bet it at like plus 200, and they're down 17 points with a minute left in the third.
15. Yeah, I'm not. That game's over. I took a shot with them. I don't trust the Knicks right now, but
the Knicks are scary good.
No, they're not. The Knicks are. Knicks are not. No, Mavericks, maybe. Knicks. Knicks are 20-21 this year. They're not a good team.
Here's the thing. That's about 10 more wins than I thought they would already have right now.
No, this is
at this point in the season. I thought they would be. I don't want to say Pistons, but they would be OKC.
Not even close. No, what? I figured they would be. They would be mid pack, not top 5, not like top 6 or whatever in the East. I figured they would be anywhere from that 7 to 11 range.
I didn't think they were a playoff team, a bubble team.
I figured they would be a playoff bubble team. Figured maybe they sneak into that 8th spot or whatever the deal is there. But no, I did not think they were going to be a cellar dweller with Orlando and Detroit. So,
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I didn't even want to talk about the Pistons. It hurt my soul to put this shirt on to do this show. It did. It just like they are they disappoint me so bad. I mean,
if they disappoint you, then you really had too high of standards.
Come on. First show, we can roll tape back. We thought the Pistons were young. They could maybe creep up into that bubble thing. We thought they were young and dumb, and nobody told them they were supposed to lose. And now nobody tells them they're supposed to put the ball in the damn hoop either. Like I would be willing to bet money they have scored less than 90 points in a whole game more than any other team in the league year to date.
I think Orlando
multiple times
for their money.
Fair, but multiple times they end the game 88, 87. They got embarrassed multiple times this year by 30, 40 points. You can't do that in the NBA, man. Like,
no, you can't, but they do.
You can't. You said that on Game Time Decision. And talking about the Bulls. Oh, don't worry, they're on back to back. Well, we're not worrying about back to back because they played the Pistons yesterday, and we're not worried about the back to back because they beat up on the Pistons.
33 to 87. Yeah, they won by 46 points. No,
like,
it
what
wasn't.
What are you doing there? That's. I mean, I don't know, but whatever.
Anyways,
but Cade Cunningham making a run at Rookie of the Year.
No, he is not. That is Evan Mobley. Evan Mobley, or depending on one of my contenders that I feel, Scotty Barnes. So one of those two guys. That's my thoughts on it, but
we'll see. Let's talk about contenders.
Yes, I wanted to do a little bit of. I know I'm probably stealing this from Nick's show when he did it like a month and a half ago. I just wanted a little bit more information in my thing. You keep deleting my my question marks tab.
Oh, I thought that was from like forever ago.
Nope.
So I'm like, all right.
I have 3 teams per each column.
My bad.
For contenders, pretenders, and question mark. Like they're limbo in between. And for these, I'm not going with the obvious saying Phoenix, Golden State, Utah, Bulls, any of those teams. I'm not going with any of that stuff because that's too easy. Anybody can go, Phoenix and Golden State, those are my contenders. Fair. No, I want to look at teams that could have value on them. And actually, I just mentioned one of them as I'm not going to go choose. First one that I'll mention is the Utah Jazz. I only mention them because they're not top 2 in the Western Conference. They're currently number 3, 3.5 games back, tied with another team that I really like. Utah is, once they get fully healthy, Rudy Gobert back. Rudy Gay was a fantastic addition defensively for him. That's really, really good for him. And this Jazz team can shoot threes. Everybody on their bench can play. They play hard. This Utah team has been on the edge multiple times in the past couple of years. I 100% think they could be a little sneaky. I'm not going to call them a dark horse because they're still number 3-4 in the West. I'm not going to call them a dark horse, but they're 100% a contender to make a deep run into the playoffs. Let's go over to the Eastern Conference for one. And I know if Sean Austin was here, he would be really, really excited to hear this one. Toronto Raptors. I'm going to put them in there. They're currently the 8th ranked team in the East. So I know that they're a little bit back, but they have been beat up and battered and COVID and this, that, and the other. And they're still over 500. And they're only going to get stronger. Pascal Siakam's playing well. Fred VanVleet's playing well. They got Barnes, who's one of the top 2 Rookie of the Years. It's one of those where this team has a lot of potential and a lot of room to move up because they're trailing Charlotte, which I think they could pass Charlotte. Cleveland, who's tampering, going back and forth now. And Philadelphia, I think they can pass Philadelphia too. And then they're getting up there, which I'll mention Philadelphia in a little bit.
Hold on. Time out. I need a 10 seconds out. 20 seconds. 20 seconds time out.
Yep.
So when you say contenders, are you saying contending for the East title or Eastern Conference?
To make deep
runs. Or
the
whole thing?
To make deep runs.
Okay,
or
to make deep runs. Thing. Okay, so we're not too far off. When you said the West, I would have Denver to maybe make a contend for that Western Conference spot up there. And I would have probably said Cleveland in the East. Those would have been, if I'd had to choose 1 and 1 that aren't 1 or 2 or 3 to like around that bottom seed to kind of go up, I could see them making a run. But go ahead, time in.
Yep, that's 2 of them. Final one, and I've already mentioned them. Memphis Grizzlies. They're currently 29 and 14 this year. They are one of the teams that we saw them make the playoffs last year, and they drew the short straw and had to play the Jazz. That is never an easy opponent in their first round of playoffs, and they held their own. Granted, they went only 5 games, but they held their own, which was fantastic to see. And this Grizzlies team is totally different. You get Ja Morant, who has a little bit more experience now. And yes, I have 2 tickets with this team. I have the Grizzlies to win the entire thing. I got that at 35-1. And then at 10-1, I got Ja Morant to win the MVP. I figured with Grizzlies on the up and rising, Ja Morant's the big face of that. And I 100% believe Ja Morant, at bare minimum, is the best point guard in the league right now. And then looking at the other guys in that MVP race, Curry, with Klay Thompson coming back, could damper his stock. Durant, that with Big 3 and everything coming, I think that's going to damper his stock. And then
see that.
And then Milwaukee with Giannis. Giannis will probably be the other one that would be interested in MVP, but he's at plus 650. And when I want to bet futures, normally I want at least 10-1.
I mean,
so
that's how do you not like Memphis right now? How do you? How
They've won 10
I would love
games.
to hear somebody's argument against Memphis right now because 10 straight games, 10 straight winners. Ja Morant. I mean, how do you make an argument against? I won't argue with you against Memphis.
I'll play devil's advocate real quick. Reasons to not bet Memphis. They're a young team. They're a very young team. And
but they said that 2 years ago.
This Warriors team is experienced, and they're good. Phoenix is now experienced after their big run last year, and they're really good. Utah, we've seen their experience. Dallas, Luka has a lot of experience. Denver, Jokic has been playing in freaking Serbia since he was 18. This is all of the top 6 teams minus Memphis are experienced when it comes to playoffs. And Memphis, they had their run last year, and that's all that they've done so far.
So I'll play devil's advocate to that. I would say that Memphis has more experience than Phoenix because they've been there for the last 2 to 3 years. Memphis has, whereas suppose Phoenix only last year. Like they made a run, and that was like a very Cinderella-esque type story. So I'm just saying, I'm just Phoenix. That would be my argument as far as that. I think Ja Morant has matured over the last 2 to 3 years, and you can see it in his play. My only worry with Memphis is, does he have enough behind him?
I think he does, as long as everybody gets healthy. But I will 100% agree that Ja Morant has matured, and he's become a lot better of a playmaker. I'm trying to remember the team that he was playing against, the Lakers. That Laker game the other night. He had.
I just saw that.
He had that sick block where he trailed Bradley perfectly, went up and put it up against the backboard, and that's just the mentality.
Next level.
Of Ja Morant.
Next level.
He's next level, 100%.
I just saw the highlights or something on somewhere social media. I was scrolling, and it was where they got under old LeBums James, and they got under his skin, and he was jawing back, and you could just see they were just laughing at him. And you know what you saw? To me, it reminded me of that old guy on the blacktop out in the court in the street at the park, and he wants to ball out, but those young kids are just they're just punking him. That's what they were doing. They were punking the Lakers.
100%.
And LeBron wanted to talk back and talk trash, and they just looked at him and laughed and said, "Go home, old man. Go home, old man. Okay, you don't have Anthony Davis here with you, and everybody else you bring in, it don't matter. Go home, old man. Fix your hairline and go home." That's what I think somebody really said. So I heard somebody was doing some mouth reading thing and whatever, and it was, I think they just kind of dubbed it, but it would be very funny if one of the Grizzlies were to say, "Go fix your hairline, old man. Go home." Because we both, I know fading the Lakers full-time job for you and all that, but that brings us in, I think, to our next spot here. Do you want to talk about the pretenders or the ones that are iffy?
I want to talk about these guys, and then I want to talk about the pretenders.
Okay.
Because I think there's a different range for it. Don't delete that. I have three teams in this category. First one, Miami Heat. Yes, they've been fantastic this year. 25-15, 3 games back in the East. They're not healthy. I want to see, because I don't think we've seen many games where we saw Bam, Butler, and Lowry all in at the same time. Barely ever happens. At the same time, look what they've done without one of them in their court the entire year.
Yeah.
This team, if they're healthy by the end of the year, has 100% a shot to win the East. But I want to see them healthy. Like this, I don't think they have enough depth with the current roster that they have and with the injuries and everything to make a run. Because I still think a Miami team versus a fully healthy Bucks team and Bulls team is not going to compete. Second team I have in this question mark spot is the Cleveland Cavaliers.
I knew you were going to say it.
And the only reason
I knew it.
The only reason why I put them there instead of the Contenders is that they've tampered off just a little bit. If they're still sitting in that 4 seed, if they're still sitting in maybe even that 3 seed that they reached a little bit, they're a contender. I'm only marking them mystery.
They just kind of came back down to earth a little bit.
They came back down to earth a little bit. This team is a very young team. They're dealing with some roster changes because Ricky Rubio's out with the year with torn ACL. They brought in Rajon Rondo. Fantastic pickup.
Yeah.
But,
huge.
And keep in mind, this team is very young. Evan Mobley, I still think he's rookie of the year. You got some other. Garland's been playing well. Jared Allen's been playing really well. It's just one of those spots where I'm not sure.
100%. I don't like it, but I agree.
And I will say this Eastern Conference is wide open. Compared to the West, the East Conference is wide open. So I did 2 question marks from that side, 1 question mark from the West, and that is the Denver Nuggets. Because with the current roster that they have, I do not believe they're a contender. The only reason why I say that, Nikola Jokic can't do everything. He cannot do everything. The fact that the Denver Nuggets are still over 500 at this point is mind-boggling. The fact that Campazzo is having 20-plus, almost 30 minutes a game, and you're getting Morris, who's playing a lot. Barton's really good, but you're getting some players that JaMychal Green is playing way too many minutes. The only reason why I didn't put these guys as pretenders just yet, Jamal Murray. When he comes back, how is this going to impact the team? I think it only makes him better, but he's one of those Klay Thompson situations. I believe that if Jamal Murray was healthy all of last year, Nikola Jokic would not have won MVP. I believe that just because Murray would have taken too much. I feel like Jokic. I
think he steals, and no pun intended, he steals some of his thunder.
Yes.
Get it?
I feel
what I mean? Like he just takes he takes some looks away from him. It's like Klay and Steph. He's just going to take some shots away from him. He's going to take some points away from him. He's going to take some, maybe his Murray's assists go up or vice versa. One of them, either way.
Yeah, both their assists will go up, but
but I just think they steal some of his.
Yeah, if Jamal Murray comes back and gets back to that form that he was in, say, bubble Murray, back in the other playoffs when he was dropping 50 points against the Jazz, then this team is 100% in contention. I think they could win the entire thing. But with the current roster right now, no Jamal Murray, I don't even think they get out of the first round. Because right now they're sitting in a 5 or 6 or 7 seed even. If they get one of those spots where you have to face the Golden State Warriors, Utah Jazz, or Memphis Grizzlies, you're not getting out of the first round with the current roster that they have. So those are the 3 teams, Nuggets, Cavs, and Heat, as I have as my question marks. Here is where it gets fun. And I am expected to get a lot of shit for this and for my pretenders list. Starting out with my obvious one, my obvious one, the Los Angeles Lakers.
Facts.
LeBron is getting old. Not going to sugarcoat that one. And Anthony Davis can't stay healthy. This team is not going to win a championship or anything with Westbrook and Anthony. That's not a thing. And a banged up.
I think they're better without LeBron. I think they're better without LeBron. So Westbrook can have more touches, and with a healthy Anthony Davis and Kyle Kuzma, or however you say his last name.
Kyle Kuzma is on Washington.
Not Kyle Kuzma. Then who am I thinking of?
I really don't know. But no, this Lakers team is not the team that they were. The Disney title that they won, which I still think was they won it, but that's kind of a BS title at the moment. This Lakers team, I've been fading them all year. They cannot cover a spread. They're currently 21-20, tied with the Nuggets. 10.5 games back in the West. I just don't think they're gonna. Right now, they would be in a playing game, and I don't think they would do it in a playing game. To be completely honest, they would be in playing games with. They'd play the Clippers. I think the Clippers would be able to beat them, and then also in that would be Minnesota and Portland, or Minnesota or Portland in the other seeding game if they had to play in that. I honestly think Minnesota can beat them. I don't think that Lakers would be able to make it out of the play-ins unless some type of they get lucky in one game. This Lakers team is not the deal. This is not the Lakers team. You guys aren't winning. I'm just going to point that one out. There is 6 teams, maybe even 7 teams in the West that I would take before you guys. All 6 teams in front of you and the Clippers. I would take before the Lakers, 100%. Maybe even Minnesota, and you guys know how high I am.
I was just going to say, I'll throw Timberwolves in there.
I'll throw Timberwolves just to throw Timberwolves in there.
Fair.
I'm not a fan of the Lakers, but that one's the obvious one. The other 2 are coming from the East. Brooklyn Nets. I know this one's kind of a bold one, and it's mostly to do with your whole Kyrie Irving deal. Is not going to help you guys. The whole he plays in the West. No, he plays on the road games. No, that's not going to work. Get that crap out of here. Either have him get vaccinated and let him play every single game, or don't have him play at all. Because this whole him playing away games is BS. I'm not interested in that. And then your Harden Durant duo, one of them is always injured. Most of the time it's Harden. But I feel like
he's another one kind of getting old, maybe.
Harden, no. The big thing with these guys with the Nets, problem? No. The big thing with the Nets is their depth, and the reason why it's a problem is they have none. They have Kyrie, they have Durant, they have Harden. Yeah, that's it. And when it comes to playoffs, that's not going to fly because those guys can't play 45 minutes every single game in order to get you guys what you need to do. Your bench players need to get points too, and when they have Claxton and Brown, who's been injured most of the year, and this is not a team that has enough depth to win a title. Okay. Not even close. Nets, pretenders. Fair. And then another one, even though, yes, this, actually, they just lost tonight, but before this, they were on a 7-game win streak. Sixers. I'm going to put on as a pretender. And same deal as the Nets. They do not have enough depth. They have Joel Embiid. They have Tobias Harris, which is iffy at best. And that is it.
You're giving him that credit.
I'm giving him way too much credit. This is a Joel Embiid that can't stay healthy most of the year.
I think they've overachieved already this year. I think they're over as of right now. I'm not saying like I'm just saying I didn't think they'd be as good as they were already because he can't stay healthy. And without him,
they're currently 23-17. They're 5th place in the West, 5 games back of first. Cleveland is a half game back. Charlotte's a full game back. Toronto and Washington are 2 games back, and Boston is 3 games back. Honestly, I could see all of those teams passing Philadelphia at this point. I'm not a believer in Philadelphia. Knicks. No, I don't believe the Knicks. Nope. I cannot. I don't think that No, I'm not a fan of the Knicks this year. I don't think they make the playoffs or even the play-ins.
Okay.
I'm not a believer in this Philadelphia team. They don't have enough depth. They don't have enough firepower to be able to contend. They are very similar situations to the Nets. And I just don't think that they're up to the standards that I'd want them to be. Now, these are just takes at this point of the year.
Yeah.
All of these are subject to change. And these are more of hot takes, I guess.
That's fair.
Because I'm saying the Memphis Grizzlies can win the entire thing.
Right. And
so these are a little bit of hot takes. These are a little bit of my thoughts through right now in the season. And obviously next week we could see Philadelphia win the next 3 games or whatever that they play. And we could see the Grizzlies lose a bunch. And obviously we can come back in 3 weeks and this list could be out the window.
Right.
At all, I don't know.
Just honestly, like LeBron's shot.
Yeah, exactly. But those are just my thoughts for right now going on in the NBA.
Let me ask you this. Can the Bulls sustain this kind of momentum all the way through the year?
I don't think they sustain this momentum, but I do think.
But can they win the East? Can they win it?
Yes, I think they can win the East. This Bulls. The reason why I didn't put Bulls in my contenders, they obviously are contenders. I'm not going to put the number 1 team in the East as a contender. Everybody can say that one. I want to pick different teams, but yes, the Bulls with the core that they have, as long as they stay healthy, is 100% a legit contender.
Okay.
And honestly, if I had to put money down on a team to win the East, I wouldn't put money on the Bulls just because I don't think there's enough value. Just because they're up that high. If I had to put money on teams to make it out of the East and go into the NBA Finals, Toronto, maybe Cleveland, and maybe the Heat. But other than that, I maybe the Bucks. But these are just obviously the Bulls are the favorite to win the East right now.
I mean, obviously it depends on health. Everybody's health.
Obviously,
I mean, there's still a lot of season left to play.
We can come back next week and DeMar DeRozan blow his ACL out and he's out for the year. And then all of a sudden everything switches. So, obviously these are just to the standards of January 12th, 2022. Next week, everything could be flipped on its head.
Fair enough. All right, let's go through some live recaps of some games that are going on, and then we're going to bounce on out of here. The Heat are up 112-88 with a minute left.
Yeah.
Mavs are getting blown out with 5 minutes left in the fourth, 95-76 over the.
I remarked that one a loser.
Yeah, that's bad. Halftime of this Rockets game, Spurs 67, Rockets 63.
So it has died down a little bit, but it's still.
It has died down.
I still think that I still think if you live bet the under when it was 144, that's still live.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now, it is. It was 249. It got up to
249. Yeah, okay. Then yeah, if you bet
now
that,
it's at 243.
Yeah, 100%.
For a live over under. But I don't. There's not like it's minus 110. I don't like it.
Yeah, no.
Cavs up 38-32 with about 9 minutes left before halftime. Lots of time
too early.
Celtics beat the Pacers 119-100.
Yep.
Hornets beat the Sixers 109-98, and the Wizards beat the Magic 112-106. That's your live updates for NHL. We still got the Nets Bulls tonight, and the Lakers and the Kings. Mm-hmm. Are the Kings a live underdog? I know you hate 100%. The Lakers, but
100%. They're a live underdog at home. Both these teams are a mess. They're both hitting their spreads at like 40% this year. So both teams are a mess. I just did not get involved in that bum fight. I do have the Bulls tonight, though. I grabbed them on the money line. Okay.
Not bad. All right, guys. That's going to do it for Shootin' Hoops. You got anything else for us, Tim?
No, that should pretty much be it. We're good to go.
Next week, we will be back next Wednesday. We're going to have a surprise guest, third guest. That we can't tell you who it is right now. Can't tell you it's a surprise. You're going to have to wait. Check out Game Time
I don't even know who it is.
Next week. I know. You don't even know. guess what? I don't either. But it'll be a surprise guest next week on Shootin' Hoops. That's going to do it for me and Tim Earl. We're Picks and Parlays, ESB. Check either YouTube out. If you haven't already, you should have subscribed. Don't forget to check out the Facebook Morningwood page. Always good contests. I just started an NBA contest today up on there. So
I didn't join it.
Or I think that was yesterday. No, today.
No, started today.
Started today.
I didn't join it.
That's fair. I took the Lakers. That's how much I put effort into
I
that
would
contest.
at this point, I'd have to put the Bulls.
There you go. Take it. Run up on there. So that's going to do it, though. We're here every Wednesday night, me and Tim Earl, talking all things NBA, 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific time. We're out of here, folks. You know the drill. Good luck, everybody, unless you're against. Peace out.
Yep.